Hello. Today we're talking about the culture of continuous improvement and how improving your culture could lead to teamwork and leadership continuity. Working with River Solutions, we want to help you build a unified leadership team in 6 months without overwhelming effort. We're going to start today with talking about that iceberg of a winning culture. This is just an illustration that says customers and clients that you have see the products and services, the results and achievements that you have, as well with the systems and practices and principles that you promote, and they are able to see. However, just underneath the surface is your corporate culture. It's the culture that you use to deliver those products and services. By developing this culture of continuous improvement, we bring unity within your organization and bring a sense of coaching and employee empowerment that really drives that quality and sense of customer service right to the surface. Developing this culture of continuous improvement is a process. We see where your gaps in leadership might be. There may be gaps in your processes, and you may have a leadership team that does more firefighting than leading their team as a whole. We want to get you to, instead of being reactive, to getting your team to be more proactive. And by doing this, we have this three-step process that gets you to that point. First, we want to discover who you are as an organization. We want to look at your systems and how you do things. We want to look at your processes and see where there may be gaps in your processes and look at your overall culture as a starting point. We then start with initial process mapping effort, where we look at your processes from the time you have a sale to the time that you present your invoice and what that looks like. We look at those handoff points that go from point A to point B to point C and whether they're clean and there's good communication between them. The next piece is transformation. In transformation, we want to have strategic alignment. We want to get further into that process definition and drive improvement from what we saw in the process mapping exercise. And we want to have some basic training with your leadership team to really help them be a supportive group that works together as a team. We then may apply all these skills and we'll apply the things that we've set up to support your team and have real impactful coaching that transfers them and applies the knowledge that we imparted upon them right to every day-to-day activity. We then want to take the action items that we got in your initial process maps and in your transformation activities to really make sure that you're implementing the things that we talked about and you're driving forward and making good progress. And we also want to make sure that your team is working together, that there's cohesion, there's a common beating of the drum, and there's common expectations that's going to drive you to making sure that they're being proactive and setting their team up for success. This culture of continuous improvement is based on four basic pillars that we've somewhat already talked about. First is that leadership strategy, is really having alignment that everyone knows how they're contributing to that overall goal. Second is igniting innovation. This is where we create a safe space for creativity, making sure that change is a normal thing and that we do it in a regulated way. We also want to have a workplace that talks to your employees, talks to your managers, understands where you are, and people know what to do right when they walk in the door in the morning. We also want to empower your employees and make sure that they're well trained. We want to make sure that they're the ones that are helping solve the problems and coming up with good solutions. And all of this is process driven. We don't want five ways of doing things. We want one way of doing things because if we have five ways, we have five problems to solve. So if we can have one problem to solve in any one day and we can drive that common goal, we're really driving that culture of continuous improvement. How do we make this happen and what's the mindset that we want to have? This is where we have the path to success. And this is what I call the four H's. First, we need to have a mindset of honesty and trust. You want to develop trust with your employees and they want to have trust in you that you have their back and you're supporting them. So honesty is the best way. Even when there's something that really bad happens, as long as they feel like they can trust you not to come down on you hard when something's happening and help solve the problem instead of being punitive. That's really a key. Then we have this idea of humility. This is where just an acknowledgement that we may not have the best method. There may be other ways. Taking that step back and really looking at yourself, looking at the people around you, and looking at your processes. This level of humility and is really also brings that level of trust and brings a sense of conversation to the table. We then don't want to take ourselves too seriously. We want to make sure we have humor and laughter. We may there's something may bad has happened and we kind of laugh it off, but then we follow it right up with problem solving and making sure it's uh, creative and that it's coming to a common solution. And then we also want to fight those old habits, right? We want to make sure that those that you're promoting your new habits, that you don't fall back on those old habits when things get in crisis. Um, we want to work through the new habits and make sure that when problems occur, that we're leveraging those new habits and understanding how they work. So contact us today. Um, Changing a culture of continuous improvement and getting everyone on the same page is really important. So give me a call, send me a text, and we'll get the conversation started. Have a great day.